Next, I'd like to show you how to work on adding some document content to the website. We're going to look at three different ways to do this. We're going to edit a new document. We will look at uploading a document from your own computer, and then we'll look at a third way of embedding updated content into the website. So we're still using this St. Joseph's hypothetical subsite, and let's say that one of the site directors wants to upload a site update, St. Joseph's update. So here I'm going to use an example that Julie had sent out by email on April 10th, 2014, and here's her document from that day. We'll look at three different ways of using this document within the website now. So the first one we'll look at is creating a new document. Let's create a new document here, and this is a kind of a plain text document that we feel maybe Word would be most appropriate for. So we click on that, and we're going to call it update from the 10th. The browser will launch the online Word application. So in fact, you don't need to have your own personal version of Word in order to make this work. This might take a minute. Hopefully not too long. In the meantime, while the site is updating, let's try to copy the text that we would like to add to the document. So we're ready. This is taking quite a bit of time. Let's see if I can stop this process and reload. Okay, that seems to have worked a little better. It shows that I'm editing this document. And to be quite honest, if I'm starting now from scratch and I have ideas about what I'd like to say, I could just say new update and start editing this document as I would like. Here we have a template to work off of, which I already copied into the clipboard, so we'll just paste that on. And once we're happy with it, there's really no need to save it. All we have to do is go back to our home site once we're done. And we can see that once we go home, this new document is right here and is available for everybody to view. We will work on a separate video on setting different permissions for viewing, for editing, for versioning, for authoring documents. It's a whole separate topic, but for now, unless anything was changed, anybody who has permissions to enter this site can also view the document. We can click on it, and we can see that it's visible now. Okay, let's go back home again. If you chose to work on the document on your home computer and you have it saved, you can alternatively, let's just delete this version. We click on those, let's look at that again, on the three dots right next to the document, and then three dots that come up right on the bottom of that window, which would allow us to delete this document. We say OK. It's deleting. had some sort of an error. Let's see how this looks like. The file is locked. Let's try again. The file is currently checked out or locked by another editing user. Doesn't look like we'll be able to do that now. We could probably troubleshoot that at another time. In the meantime, we'll just go back to the website. And now I'll try to upload a file from my home computer. It's going to be really the same file from the computer. This is called SJH update 410. We'll open that. We'll allow the program to overwrite existing files. Click OK. And now we should very soon see two files in our document folder. And here's the new file we just added. Let's click on that to see how that looks like. And we should soon be able to see that it's no different than the other document we just copied and pasted. Essentially the same content. So these are static documents. The only downside to them is that we can point users to new documents and then they can launch them fairly easily. However, if you want your site update to show up on your home page, we can try to do that as well. And that's a feature every one of you who creates a site can decide if it's appropriate for your site, if it's something you find useful. But let's try to practice this. What we'd like to do here is add another app. Now, since we've removed our introduction bar, we'll need to do this another way. We can either click on Site Contents right over here and add an app, or we can go to our Settings menu right here, which is this wheel, and we click on Add an App. Should see a list of our applications, and now let's try to add a custom list, which we haven't done before. We'll click Edit. And then we're going to call this one Updates and create. So just like we've seen in previous examples, once the site launches again, we will not see this application since the browser does not know exactly how we want to edit. So we'll need to go to the edit screen. Again, we're going home again. And now we need to choose edit in order to add this custom list. So as you recall, previously we chose a certain format to our site, a certain layout, which, as you recall, was 2 columns with a header and a footer. Previously, the header was taken up by this introduction bar with the icons, but now since we removed it, it's empty. We may choose to use this space in order to add our icon. If your site does not have this and instead, say, has this a different setting, a 2-column or a different one, you can always choose to change that in order to add the content. But for now, let's use this top bar to add what we like. We're going to add an app part, and here what we like to add is updates, the one we just added to our site contents. Let's click on add. And now we'll have an opportunity to look at our site again. Let's scroll up and we'll see that this is where our updates will be. Let's save this. And now this is how our site looks like. The top is taken up by the updates. Now I'd like to show you how we can use this in order to show user what updates we have to the site. So we're going to do a bit of a share screen here, so we can use our Word document at the same time. Although if we're just jotting down updates, we can do this straight on the website. Let's add a new item to our update list here. We're going to call this one ED3. Next, we're going to ask to view this item. Actually, no, let's close this. And let's see if we can add some text here. We need to add let's try to add this in the body of title. I just clicked on title again. As you can see, not everything goes 100% smoothly here, and you need to experiment a bit sometimes. That's okay. I'm going to add some additional text here to ED3. That's intended to be the contents. I just pasted additional content. And now that you could see, it basically takes up this entire screen. This may be how we like it. We may choose to change things. We're going to try to figure out how to do, but for some reason it won't let me. Let's add a new item now. This one we'll call "We need your old shoes." We'll paste that and maybe try to go back to the beginning. For some reason it doesn't want to let me add text. Let's just save it as is. And now we see a second update item on this list. Let's add a third one. This one will be for ketamine. We'll paste this one. And ketamine. We'll save this. This is still working. But as you can see, now we have on the top of the screen a list of updates, which instead of having a file every few weeks with a number of updates, as the updates come, we can just keep adding those to the updates list, which is something the users can see as soon as they log into the site and just update themselves. For some reason this is taking forever, but this is an example of how we can do this. This will be the end of this video.